Good morning, guys. No, I didn't play any Troy. I was too busy with other stuff. But I'm gonna try it out today. Is it any good? Like, what's the reviews? Like, 75? That's pretty mediocre, but you know, for a free game, I guess, you shouldn't complain. I would have hoped for like 85 plus. My favorite game of all time, Witcher 3. How much did this one get? 93. Yeah, that's user score 9.4. That's what a good game gets. This, if this is a 5-star setup, this is a 3.5 or 4-star setup. Yeah, Cyberpunk. Man, that thing, gotta live up to its hype. You get attacked by every neighbor at once, but maybe it was too high of a very high difficulty setting. Command & Conquer Classic, oh yeah. Why don't they do any more Command & Conquer games? There haven't been a new one in like 10 years. Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Oh yeah, I remember that game. I played a lot of Doom 2 and Wolfenstein. What was the first Wolfenstein game? I remember they released like back in the day they had demos of games. You got like play a bit part of the game for free. But Wolfenstein, that was like a third of the game was a demo, so you actually got a third of the game to play it for free. Pro CS Source? Wow. Really pro? Like you made a living off of it? Holy shit. Can't believe the guy who showed me how to trade plays video games. Hey, most men in their 30s today play video games, don't they? Like if you're a male and in your like late 20s, early 30s, you probably play some kind of video games. Like I prefer PC, but you know, I don't include like mobile games. Like mobile gaming is not gaming. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. It's not gaming. Or maybe it is. Exactly. It's yeah, exactly. How do I get my teenager to play less video games? Yeah, well, I'm not at that point yet. I have no advice to give. Maybe a good spanking. Oh shit, did I say that out loud? Maybe I'm a bit too old school. Yeah, I heard about Animal Crossing. Seems like a cool game, but not really my type of game. League of Legends, yeah. I'm more of a World of Warcraft person. Exactly. Open a Robin Hood account for him and fund it with a couple of thousand. He's gotta stop playing video games. Take him to strip club. Why Tesla 2000? Why not Tesla 2000? Wait, what? You gave him a... What? He's not interested? What's wrong with him? Can I be your son? Yeah, you should adopt someone from chat. All right, let's see here. Let's get to trading. NVAX is gapping up. I think NVAX could be a short setup today, potentially, especially if you can hit that high 148, high 140 area. It had a sharp decline. Now it's had a sharp bounce. You know, it could start fading back. I'm not super excited for it. Maybe later in the day, or better would be on Monday. Tesla gapping up. I just can't. Like this thing, I'm in third size. It hurts. Every dollar it goes higher, it hurts. Because I know I could be in 3 times as much. INO looks good bounce of the rising 150 days so far. BE closed very strong yesterday. LAC, this thing, I still think this thing goes to 20 plus, 30 plus. This thing is getting pumped hard. T-Doc wasn't a strong close, but you know, it's still a valid setup. Had it closed like a couple of bucks lower, I would probably have sold it. Overstock. Now, a lot of cryptos are breaking out again, and you know, this overstock, man, this, yeah, I don't think it's gonna pull back more than this, unless the cryptos start fading. I'm still short. I covered a few yesterday when it reclaimed the 20 EMA on the 60-minute chart, but we'll see. Fastly too, like it closed. I would have preferred a stronger close, but it's still a valid setup. There was some weakness midday in the markets. Zillow is having an orderly pullback to the rising 10-day. We'll see how it acts here. CS bounced off the 50-day. W, this thing looks like it wants to go to 400. Hopefully next week we get a nice tight setup. Hopefully this thing goes parabolic. GBTC is setting up for an ad spot. VIR looks, you know, it's acting well. It's just, you know, I think it's not a very fast stock. I've been in this thing for over a month and a half, and it's only up like 22%. But you know, one of these days gonna be go to 70, I think. Hexo, I bought some yesterday in my Interactive Brokers account. I'm thinking, you know, risk is what, 5-6 cents to potentially make, you know, maybe this thing can double or triple. Cryptos are getting. Wait, this is not a crypto stock. Wait. Hexo. No, it's wheat stock. Oh shit, I thought it was a crypto name. Oh, I thought it was a crypto name. I thought it was gonna do something like Mara and Riot did. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's the wrong sector. Oh, whatever. Yeah, okay. It's okay. it's a cannabis stock. I thought it was a crypto stock. Oh, okay, whatever. I bought some DraftKings yesterday. I took out this, like it looked, you know, it bounced off the rising 20 on the weekly chart. It's building higher lows for the past few months, and you know, then they had earnings. It looks like it's gapping down a bit on those earnings. It's a smaller position. I knew the earnings were coming, so I only took like a half size on it, less than half size. But okay. You know, that, you know, it's a gamble. It's a pure gamble. I thought the sector was gonna do well. You know, Penn is doing well. Like all of these gambling casino names, they're doing really well. Betting, like GAN had a big breakout yesterday. It's also like same sector as DraftKings. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Your pre-market, it bounced perfectly off the 10-day moving average. So we'll see. Hopefully they buy it up. And if it takes out yesterday's size, I may add to it. I may add full size. GSX, I'm thinking about adding more. It looks like it's below the 20-day now. Pre-market, it hit exactly the 20-day. And I think this thing could fade back to 50-day moving average. So GSX, I'm gonna watch closely. I'm still short 6,000 shares from the 130s, low 130s, low mid 130s. But you know, let's see how liquid is it. Yeah, I'll add 10-15,000 shares to this thing. Mark, David Atria is in a big fight. Really? Oh, it's gapping down, Mark. Kumu, yeah, you know, people keep mentioning this Kumu. It's just, you know, this thing trades less than like $5 million volume. Like, guys, you shouldn't even look at something like this. You know, have at least like a $5 or $10 million volume cutoff on your scans. You know, these things are. There's no need to trade like these ultra liquid stocks. It's just, even if you have tiny accounts, there's just no need to do it. Ignore it. There's plenty of opportunity in stocks that are a bit more liquid. UAVS, yeah, it had a wide range candle yesterday. Like yesterday was the entry day, in my opinion. Yeah, wow, late day it had a big pop. It undercut the 20-day moving average, reclaimed, and then yesterday it broke out. Can I share it on Twitter? Absolutely not. Vimy? Nah, I don't know. It looks like a very broken stock. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see here. Okay, DraftKings is starting to. I'm gonna raise my stop higher. I really don't see anything exciting. Only thing I'm watching out of the gate is GSX to add to my short. Like if I can get a like a tight range, $2-3 range. If I can use like a $2-3 stop, this thing could easily have another $20 of downside, $25 of downside, or maybe not easily, but it's possible. Yes, FTCH is an earnings gapper, since it's gapping up and it reported earnings. That is absolutely correct. Is it a good buy setup? Well, that's another question. It is kind of extended. Not really my type. Like down here, this was like a good setup. Like it came out of a nice base, had been building higher lows, bounced off the perfectly off the 20-day, rising 20-day, reported earnings, and kept going higher. But now it's already kind of extended. Can it go to 35? Sure, but I don't know. Let's keep the shatter to a minimum in the first 30 minutes or so. Oh, okay. I got stopped out of DraftKings apparently. Oh, near the lows of the day. Okay, that's great. Awesome. I'm scaling out a tiny bit more B. Those who bought it yesterday, like you should wait though, 3 to 5 days. Like I trade a bit differently because I need to get out when there's liquidity. Okay, apparently I got a piece of GSX short. Raising my stop on Tesla a bit as the 20-day and 10-day moving averages are moving higher. I just raised it by $6 or so. BCC, no, not a good setup. And also ADR is 3.5. This thing shouldn't be on your scans. Kairos, no, it's not a momentum leader. Or you know what? It actually looks pretty decent. You know what? It looks pretty okay. It looks okay. It's not really like a momentum leader, but you know the setup looks pretty decent. It's a very like early stage move. You know what? I kind of like Kados. It's okay. It's okay. space. Well, yeah, so I have thoughts on space. It looks like shit. Most are just random people. Check out the stock they want to buy. Yeah, I'm thinking so too. Yeah, I'm probably gonna start like muting people from next week on. Like I'm gonna do a solid tutorial on the scans. And if people still ask, you know, give me like low ADR stocks and stuff like that, you know, then we'll see. There are still a lot of things setting up for next week. Like I really like Roku. Like obviously many of these are too low ADR for you guys, but like these are the momentum leaders. Like if these things start breaking out, you know, there's a lot of you know, like lower volume, higher ADR stocks that are gonna go too. So these are like good thermometers for the overall markets. Twitter looks good. It's setting up this SR. This one is kind of choppy. You know what? I am taking it off. It's too choppy. Redfin is getting tighter. CRSB, you know, getting tighter. So there are things setting up. I like this, you know, like Twilio is kinda starting to build some higher lows now. For now. It's really tight down here. Roku is it's not even breaking out. I mean, nah, I don't know. It needs a solid breakout. It's still in range. It's been building higher lows past few days. That's a good sign. Weekly, it's setting up. The 10 weekly is catching up to the price. I think it's gonna be a solid one. Recently reported good earnings. Well, at least good revenue growth. So I like Roku. Starting Monday. I hope it doesn't go higher today. I hope it prints a tight range today. That would be best. FTCH, so far it's straight up from opening range highs, but I have a hard time buying stuff like this that's, you know, straight up. That's me personally. Kandi. Yeah, this is a very good setup. This is a very good setup. You know, if it starts breaking this range with volume, you know, this is the kind of stock that could move. Look at this. ADR is 24%. This is the kind of stock that can go up 20, 30, 40% in a day. Absolutely. But that's not an institutional type of stock. You know, someone, you know, they need to PR or, you know, it needs to get a pump to get moving. But it looks good. It does. Okay, I got stopped out of my GSX short. Or the ad. I still have the core, but I got stopped out of the ad. Netflix is bouncing off the 50-day, building higher lows. That's good sign. This is one of the market momentum leaders, growth leader. There's a lot of, like, it's a slower stock, but that's a good sign. Like, we get these big ones acting well, for now at least. This TSM, like it's a low ADR stock, but it's setting up. This is a high tide flag. But the key is finding these type of setups on stocks that have higher ADR, like 5% plus. But it is setting up really nicely here. This is the type of setup you want to look for, but preferably on stocks with higher ADRs. Like, the thing with episodic pivots is it doesn't matter if it's biotech or earnings or any whatever type of episodic pivot it is. You want to buy the ones that are coming out of like long sideways or some type of weakness, like something like FTCH. Like, this thing is straight up 300% into this report, right? So even they beat earnings and beat revenue, all of that stuff. There's the fail rate is a bit higher versus like some of the earnings gappers we bought this year, like Meili. Okay, good example. Look at this thing. We bought it here. The stock had been going pretty much sideways for a year, right? Fastly, we bought it here. The stock had never made a run. Also, it'd been going sideways for pretty much a year. And then look at what it did, right? What are there more? Sheg we bought. Also, it had been going sideways for a long time. Over a year. DXCM is one we bought, I bought it on stream 7 months ago or something here. Again, it had been going sideways for a long time. And then you have something like FTCH, what are the odds of this thing making a big move from here? Like, it could, obviously. So far it's acting perfectly. But, is it gonna double in the next couple of months? Again, it could, but you want the best odds. You want the odds on your side. Candy is too liquid for me. Someone buying Candy big? No one is buying this thing. It's up 1.59% on the day. Who the hell is buying this big? No one is buying this thing. Where can I add to SHLL? You don't. If you didn't get enough size opening range highs, like in the when it triggered in a mid-high 20s, you don't add to this thing. There's no setup here. You only add on good setups. ADR on the top left. You click here, edit toolbar, and you click the plus icon. But you first need to put it in the system. You have to go into like easy scan and, you know, new condition, and you have to like create the condition or create that indicator. ADT. Right now it's not really. Yeah, I mean maybe next week. Kirk. No. It had a good setup here. This is not a good setup. It needs to be on the moving averages. This is way above the moving averages. News. Not yet. Carve. No, Carve is no, absolutely not. Not a momentum leader. CrowdStrike. Nah, it's not. No, it's not a good setup. It's just inside of a range. Oh, GS6, I need to get back into this thing. Okay, I added back a bunch of GSX. It shook me out, but now it's below VWAP again, and looks like it wants to go lower. I haven't played it yet. I'm gonna try it out in a couple of hours. Getting a bit excited. Why did HX go up yesterday? This thing had an insane intraday breakout late day. Went from like $1.10 to $2.50 almost. Just insane. In like what, an hour, 2 hours? Absolutely insane. Oh, launch social e-commerce? But yeah, but they did it here. But maybe they released the same PR again. Social e-commerce. What the fuck does that even mean? Social e-commerce. So what? Like there's social e-commerce and unsocial e-commerce? It means pump. Exactly. It means pump. Wait, what? Some really weird numbers on HX on MarketSmith. Like Okay, so it's a peer-to-peer lender. China's fifth largest peer-to-peer lender. Wow, this stock is up down like 80-90% since the IPO. There must have been some weird stuff going on in this, because if you look at the numbers, like they had 20, 40, 27, 52 million in quarterly revenue. They had big growth, and suddenly there's like very low revenues, and they are losing money. There must be something, I don't know what the hell is going on with this one. So Roku is pulling back a little bit today. So the key is to see if it can make another higher low in the 147 area. That would be nice to see. Twitter, I'm getting excited about it for next week. It's starting to set up really nicely. But again, it's a lower ADR. There's not many, like in my watch lists and scans, there's just not many higher ADR stocks that are setting up. Mostly like in the 3% range. Like Roku also, I think it's like ADR. Oh, okay, this one is better. ADR 4.6. That's the curse of having a larger account. By the way, I noticed something like a couple of hours ago. Like I passed on a breakout in NIO. Like I passed on this breakout. Like look how strong this thing. Like higher lows all the way, surfing the 10-day, then it started surfing the 20-day, and then it broke out. I realized it looked exactly the same as the SRNE breakout I traded a couple of weeks ago. It's exactly the same. They almost look identical. This is the breakout they bought. You know, I made a big move, was surfing the 10-day, then we was surfing the 20-day, and was just building higher lows, and went sideways for 3-4 days and broke out. And then it doubled, more than doubled in like 2 weeks. And NIO the same thing. It doubled in a couple of weeks. You know, if you know, you gotta learn these patterns. They happen over and over again. They happen over and over and over again. BGS, why is it gonna do a short squeeze? Guys, get the word short squeeze out of your vocabulary. Like, very few stocks make short squeezes. Just because a stock goes up or makes a big move, it's not a short squeeze. Even there may be shorts in it, right? But it's not a short squeeze. Shorts are a very small part of the market, like 1 or 2%. A stock with a lot of shorts in it can go down a lot, but they can also go up a lot. A stock with very few shorts in it can go up a lot, can also go down a lot. Like, I'm not a believer in short squeezes. Like legitimate short squeezes are very rare, very rare. This EQT is like if it had one more day of sideways, would have been a great setup. Now it's like, nah. 40% of shares short. Really? BGS? It's low ADR. It's kind of a shoppy name. It doesn't move like it doesn't move well. I don't, and it's low ADR. Yeah, Kodak, that was a legitimate short squeeze. That was a legitimate short squeeze. But those, you know, you don't get... Yeah, silver in 1979, yeah. Tupperware, yeah, it's setting up for next week. It's gonna be a decent one. It's setting, yeah, it's setting up. I mean, people have been mentioning this thing for like 3 days now, but now it's finally starting to like set up. You know, gotta wait for those good setups. Do I think you should buy Twitter option buy call this week? Well, if you're asking, you shouldn't do it. And you know, like my opinion is if you haven't made at least a few million trading stocks, you have no business trading options. Portnoy going balls deep on DraftKings. He's buying the dip. Look, it's, you know, right now it looks like DraftKings is building another higher low on the daily chart. I'm gonna watch it for next week. If it starts taking out this like mid 30, like 36 area again, you know, it's starting to look good. Not the type of setup I'm trying to teach you. This is more of a, you know, another type. You need to be in the faster names, but you know, it could work. You made, oh, you made an ADR indicator in TradingView? Really? Holy shit! Wait, you can do that? And you can share it to like everyone? No, I never added to my Tesla position. I'm still at third size, 1,300 shares. That's a game changer. Like if you made an ADR, now you can like TradingView is for free, right? That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm gonna put it in my FAQ page, about page. Match, that's a low ADR stock. No, actually it's not. Oh well, it's sub 5, but yeah, it's not really, like these larger cap names, you know, they usually need more time to set up. I wouldn't buy this personally. Also, some of these airlines and cruise lines names are starting to set up for next week. They made a big move and now been pulling back, consolidating, and the 10 days are trying to, you know, catch up. Maybe, you know, in a 2-3 sessions there gonna be good setups on those things. But that's also some stocks I'm watching for next week. A lot of things for next week. Like this week, not so much. Also, Riot and Mara are setting up. They have now pulled back, found some support, and now they're building ranges. Oh, GSX, nice. I covered tiny bit of the re-add. I added a little bit more this time. First time I had 10,000, now I did 12,000 shares. I think this thing goes down to at least the 50-day in the short term, and potentially even sub 70 with some patience. We'll see. BGFV, no, not yet. I think it needs a few more days. Not yet. Oh, INO. Need to sell some here. Turning into a pretty decent trade. I had 100,000 shares at the 13.22 average. So yeah, and now it's at 15. It's pretty good, pretty good. Kind of raise my stop to break even here. Maybe it can go back to like 17 bucks or something. That would be nice. I bought a very specific setup. I think it's the reverse parabolic short. It's a parabolic long. When you have a momentum stock, like an extreme momentum stock that pulls back, has a big pullback, and then it bounces off usually these key moving averages. And then you wait for a tight setup. Like Nikola did it. Nikola's a tricky one because it gapped up big. It bounced off the 50, then it gapped up big. But it's same principle. Tesla did it back in March lows. Like Tesla bounced perfectly off the 200-day. Big momentum stock, a big pullback, and bounced perfectly off the 200-day moving average. And then it, gained new life on its own. But, these are specific setups I trade. Oh shit, Fastly and T-Doc are not acting well. Oh, T-Doc. If this thing stops me out, I'm gonna take a pretty decent loss on it. Pinterest too, it looks good for next week. Needs to go, preferably go sideways a bit more. This JD, this thing it's a lower ADR stock, but it's one of the China leading stocks. They report on Monday, and if it can gap up over this mid 63 area on earnings, and if they have a good beat and everything, like the numbers right now are not really exciting because of the corona situation. So it's a temporary slowdown, but this is one of the leading stocks in China, and yeah, I'll be buying it. I'm gonna take an enormous position on a good setup. Yeah, PDD looks good too. Ah, no, wait, no, it doesn't look good anymore. It's breaking down. PDD is not looking good. Beely looks good though. Beely is getting really tight. It's building higher lows. Like you can just clearly see it's building higher lows. just surfing the 50-day. It's below the 50-day, but sometimes it's okay if they surf below the key average, moving average. It's setting up really well. PDD not as good anymore. Oh, you have the ADR for Think or Swim too? Is the ADR for 20 days? That's the ADR for 10 days, right? Input length 10. Average daily range. Guys, those of you new here, go to my about page on my blog. It's on my profile, about. And you need to read everything there. How you research? Very easy. This is how you research stocks. This is what everyone you should do. Every moment you have, you know, over, even if it's 15 minutes on the shit house, you bring your laptop and you do this. TC2000, US stocks, sort them alphabetically. Then you go to the monthly view, and then you just start, you know, looking at them. Look at every stock that made a big move, like a couple of 100% in a year or 1,000% in like 3, 4, 5 years. Put them in a separate watch list, okay? You go through all of these 5,000 stocks, and then you go to that watch list. You're probably gonna gather like 500 or maybe even 1,000 stocks, because most stocks have made like a big move sometime during their lifetime. And then you start looking, you know, you start looking for patterns, and you'll see the same patterns are they repeat over and over and over again. And that's where you can make tens and hundreds of millions if you learn those patterns. And then you can, you know, look at fundamentals and, you know, hint. Usually, if a stock makes a big multi-year move, what drives it is earnings and revenue growth. There, I saved you a lot of time. mRNA would be what? No, absolutely not. Because it's not extended to the downside. It needs to be straight down. Like, this is the type of setup you look for. Something that's down 50, 70% in a few days or few weeks. This is something. And then it pulls back one of the key moving averages. Like right here. That's a good bounce setup. It's a reverse parabolic short. That's a parabolic long. Oh shit, NVAX. Oh, NVAX. Fuck, I'm still short this thing. Like a third size. No, actually less. Quarter size. You know what? I'm gonna raise my stop. I think this is gonna be a 5-star setup on Monday. 5-star short setup. Because now it's been bouncing 2 days, and tomorrow on Monday, if we get a gap up, this thing could reverse hard. It reminds me about Tesla back in March. Very similar to Tesla back in March. one of the biggest momentum stocks, and it broke down, bounced off the 50-day moving average, bounced for 2 days, and the third day had a big gap up and a big reversal. This one we traded on stream, and then look at what it did. Now obviously, you know, the market sell-off helped. It went down like 55% from that day, but you know, it looks, NVAX looks exactly the same. The biggest momentum stock in the markets breaks down as a sharp move lower, kind of bounces off the 50. It didn't really get to the 50, but now it's, you know, on day 2 of the bounce, and on Monday it's gonna be day 3 of the bounce, and you know, this thing could very easily reverse back 15-20% in a few days. So that's something I'm gonna be watching closely. Overstock. Overstock. Looks like Overstock wants to get below the 10 and 20 day moving 20 EMAs again on the 60-minute chart. Selling a few more INO here. Tiger? Maybe. Overnight fees on something like NVAX, it's easy to borrow. There are pretty much no overnight fees on it. It's easy to borrow. What do I think? I just talked about them. I like them for next week. I think another 2-3 days of sideways of those, they're gonna look very good. Does Brandy Love look good? I don't know. Does Jesse Livermore look good? Yeah, I'm stalking Wix. Wix is on my watch list. Next week it could be nice. What's this farming? Oh, okay, nice. So this their subsidiary has received new customer orders for its dried whole mushrooms and dried mushroom slices. Wow. Oh my god. I'm gonna buy some mushroom slices from this China company. Mushroom slices, okay. Oh man. Jesus. ADMS. The 10-day needs to catch up on ADMS. Make it a habit. Like, if the stock is like way up and the nearest of the moving average is like, the 10-day is 17% lower. Like, generally, you gotta wait for the moving averages to catch up. Sometimes they don't have to catch up completely on the fastest moving stocks, but, you're just gonna have better odds. Oh shit, T-Dog is gonna stop me out. Need to set, and Fastly, what's Fastly doing? It's gonna stop me out too, feels like it. This is what happens when the market goes up, I think we need a solid pullback in the markets. These are some of the hardest type of markets to trade, when the markets have gone up for a while and they still like hang out near the highs, but breakouts just don't have follow through. It's been like this for like 2 weeks now. Breakouts don't really have much follow through. On the other hand, some of my shorts had some really nice, made some really nice moves. But it's always, been a struggle for me when the market has gone up for multi-months. That's personally where I struggle the most, because you keep getting good setups, but they just don't have follow through. Like markets like these, like back in February, March, like when the markets go down, these markets are not hard because you don't get any good setups. You can just sit there and you don't get any good breakouts. Now there are mean reversion trades and stuff like that I trade, but markets like these, there's just not that many breakout setups. But markets like we've had for the past 2-3 weeks, there's been a lot of good setups. Some of them had nice follow through. This one, this thing is probably a $600,000 trade for me. Like this thing went up 40% in like 2 weeks. And then we have TTD. This I got stopped out like 2-3 days ago. This one had some decent follow through. I didn't sell enough into strength, but it was more like a, some things did have follow through. But that's the thing in choppy markets, you will have like one really nice trade and then you have like 4 or 5 that stop you out. Oh, this overstock looks like it's fading back. Oh, if we can get a little bit of a bounce on overstock, I'm gonna add to my short. No, I don't keep pushing. There is nothing to push. There's just not many good setups around. There are, there's been some, but GSX. Oh shit, I need to cover some more. MWK. Yeah, it looks like a good setup, but it's a very liquid stock. Yeah, you shouldn't get these types of liquid stocks in your scans. You know, adjust your scans to at least 5-10 million in dollar volume. LAC keep relentlessly going higher. It's nice. Yeah, the whole airline sector woke up, looks like. What's the target for Overstock? There's no target for it. Okay, I got stopped out of T-Doc. I sold a tiny bit yesterday. Oh, no, actually I didn't. I took a $76,000 loss on this T-Doc. Yeah, it looks like a lot of these names want to have another leg lower. Maybe it's gonna find support on a rising 150 or rising 200 day. Right now they're just failing. Fastly's probably gonna stop me out too. We'll see. TER? No, it looks like shit. And it's low ADR. Like there was a maybe setup here on this day, but today it looks like shit. It's wide and loose, nothing like a good setup. Someone already mentioned Arlo. You know, no, it needs more sideways. I think it needs more sideways. It's a good thing, you know, when markets go down, or actually, wait, markets are not down that much. Huh. A lot of growth names are pulling back quite a bit, even though the markets are unchanged. I don't like that. I prefer when like the markets are sideways or down, and the growth names, the momentum names are up. This is like the reverse of it. Sono. Yeah, there's no setup. That's the key. It doesn't matter what's going on with the stock. There's no setup. There's no setup. Well, I don't really, like Nasdaq, I look more of the trend. Like generally, like when the 10-day moving average is trending higher, when the 20-day moving average is trending higher, and the 10-day is above the 20-day, that's generally good conditions for swing trading. And when it's the other way around, they're both, one or two of them are trending lower, and the 10 days below the 20, that's usually when you shouldn't be swing trading on the long side, and you probably shouldn't be swing trading at all. You should probably just sit it out and wait for better times. Yeah, the beaten down names, the value names are all up. Like airlines, cruise lines, and retail, they're all having a day in the sun. It's just another rotation day. We'll see. Oh, VIAC, this one is breaking out. Like this. It's a bit too short. I think we need patience. Like maybe later next week we're gonna get some good setups again, unless the markets completely break down. But there are things that are potentially setting up. Like this AMD, if this thing can go sideways another week or two, that would be like an epic one. The 20-day needs to catch up. Doyu, a little bit more sideways. HCMP potentially, a lot of these things need more sideways. LRN, Pinterest, Beely, Etsy. Yeah, later next week, probably. No, OBLG is too thin. This thing shouldn't even be in your scans. Use like a $5 or $10 million in minimum cutoff. No need to there's no need to trade these ultra thin names. They're just a waste of time. This SPG is waking up from the day it had Amazon news. I'm still long this thing, pretty much full size. Oh, GSX. Nice, nice, nice. Starting to get a fade on it. Just putting like some covers on the way down. I think this thing goes to at least a rising 50-day, which means mid 75s would be my next target for it. My stop on Tesla is at the 10-20 day moving average lines, near the just below the range breakout level. About sector rotation in bull markets, you know, just follow the setups. You don't have to worry that much about it. Just follow the setups, follow your sell rules. You know, you're gonna catch those rotations. No need to overthink it. All you really have to do is focus on good setups. Everything else is gonna take. You don't need any. You don't need to know what's going on in the world. You don't need to know what Trump's doing. You don't need to know what China's doing. You don't need to know the planetary movements. You don't need to, you know, you really don't need to know much. What you need to have, if you want to get rich in the trading, you need to have focus. And you need to focus on the right things. Exactly. You need to know the earth is flat because of science. Yeah, NVAX on Monday. You know, hopefully this thing closes strong and then gaps up to like this mid 150 mid 150s or something, and then we get a big reversal. That would be great. You know what? I know I'm gonna raise my stop aggressively here. W, you know, another 3-4 days of sideways would be ideal. So far, Overstock bounced perfectly off the 10-day moving average. Sale? No. It looks like a shit setup. Where's the tightness? What's this? Why is there a gap between the nearest moving average and the price? And where's the tightness? And what's the ADR? Now, in a couple of weeks, it could be a potential good setup, but right now, it's absolutely not a good setup. Do I mind? Actually, for now, right now, I do, because I'm planning to stop the stream. Just look at the past 5-6 YouTube videos I've uploaded. Like I've been doing the swing training school. Just watch the ones with the swing training school. I go through hundreds of good setups. Kill him. No. That escalated quickly. I go through a lot of good setups every day on the stream. But you know, some days I do like a specific swing training school. Throw him over the cliff of the edge of the earth. Yeah. Yeah, you know, like my last 5-6 videos, the ones that have the swing training school. Either you can do it on my YouTube or and also I think they're on Twitch too, but yeah, go to my YouTube. I'm gonna sacrifice someone. All right, there's pretty much not gonna happen a lot rest of the day, I don't think. I'm just gonna manage my positions. I just don't see any good setups right now anywhere. The few ones we had, I'm in them, and choose me. What is my YouTube name? Well, you'll figure it out. Have I ever bought a high tide flag that is far above 10 moving average? Rare cases, rare cases. All right, I'm gonna cut the stream now. Thanks for joining. And have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. And don't forget to spend a lot of hours studying setups and winning stocks. There's no other way. You're not gonna get rich by following someone else. You need to build your own skill set. I'm here as inspiration and motivation. You know, I'm not gonna do the work for you. You gotta do the work for yourself. You gotta invest in yourselves. There's no other way. And if you don't want to do it, well, you know, there's plenty of day trading chat rooms that will happily take your money for a fee. All right, guys, have a great weekend. See you on Monday.